Alright, ladies and gentlemen, MrSotko here. Welcome back to the channel. Got a whole bunch of good crypto news stuff for you today. And we're going to start it off with the main article. Tether redeems and burns more than half of the Tether in circulation. So just more controversy from Tether once again that nobody has ever audited or anything like that, and that everybody questions. Tether issuer of a stablecoin, USDT, says it redeemed a significant amount of tokens. It redeemed them from the circulating supply and is now going to destroy 500 million Tether from the Tether Treasury wallet. So basically, they're just taking 500 million Tether and then they're promising to destroy them. And so it's basically like, well, is that actually going to happen? Your guess is as good as mine. So according to the firm, this will leave 446 million Tether remaining in its treasury in preparation for future issuances, meaning that those tokens redeemed and burned account for 52.8% of the total former supply, so greater than half. And the redemption is visible on the Omni Blockchain Explorer, which shows a confirmed transaction dated today of 500 million US Tether. Tether's announcements directs the public to consult the conceptual outlines of the token issuance and redemption process as described in its white paper. Every Tether issued or redeemed is publicly recorded by the Bitcoin blockchain, will correspond to a deposit or withdrawal of funds from the company's bank account. I'm sure it does. We're all really sure, Tether, that it does. I mean, because like when somebody's like, hey, I'm gonna audit you, and they're like, no, you're fired. You know, that's a problem. That's a problem. It's like, hey, I got evidence of this, and then they're like, oh, can I see that? No, you're fired. Go away. Yeah, I don't know, little shady. Little shady. So as the white paper notes, for the crypto side of its accounting processes, the public and transparent nature of the public Bitcoin blockchain onto which Tether are issued via Omni Layers protocol ensures the token transactions can be verified and tracked. So even when it comes to its fiat accounting, the white paper states that as part of the solvency equation for the Tether system, the provability of US dollar reserves will rely on several processes that nobody can actually confirm, including the firm's publication of bank account balances on its transparency page, and professional audits, which have never actually happened. So yeah, you know, I mean, I could just be like, yeah, no, I mean, I got a bunch of money, but you know, and I get professionally audited all the time, but you're like, okay, well, which times have you been professionally audited? Well, never, but I mean, it is in my white paper, so it's okay, guys. So moving on, as you know, I'm just gonna continue fudding all over Tether, because at this point, you know, we could get rid of the FUD if they just get audited. But until then, it's going to keep on keeping on. Next article. Coinbase joins stablecoin hype, launching support for US dollar coin, a stablecoin like Tether, which these can be useful. Not so much on Coinbase, because Coinbase, you could just put your bank account to it, and they have fiat. So they have US dollar and euro pairing on their exchange. So you might be thinking, okay, so what is a stable coin? Just in case you don't know, a stable coin is a coin that is supposed to be stable around $1 US or whatever they really want it to be, and it fluctuates a little bit, but it's relatively stable. So basically, on exchanges that don't have US dollar or euro or yen or whatever pairing, they will put on a stable coin, and that allows you to essentially, like if Bitcoin went up to 20,000 and you're like, okay, I'm going to sell, and they don't have US dollar pairing, because that creates a lot of issues for exchanges. They have to go through a lot more legal issues to actually put money pairing on exchanges, because then there's securities issues, yada, 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 stupid, you know, nonsense. So it's hard for them to put fiat pairing on exchanges. So they'll put a stable coin on there. So Bitcoin goes up to 20,000 and you sell to that stable coin. Now you have 20,000 Tether. And when Bitcoin goes down to $6,000, you use that 20,000 Tether to buy Bitcoin again. and so on. But sometimes the tether fluctuates just a little bit, and so if Bitcoin went to 20,000 and you waited for tether to not just be at $1 but like 98 cents, technically you're going to get a lot more tether for that $20,000 Bitcoin. So you're going to get quite a bit more tether. And then when Bitcoin, let's say, goes back down to 6,000 like it did, you would wait till tether is at like $1.03 or $1.04 or however high you can, because then you're going to get a lot more for it. So basically, the US-based cryptocurrency exchange Coinbase has launched support for US dollar coin Circle's fiat collateralized stablecoin. The company said in a blog post on Tuesday that its U.S. customers outside the state of New York can now buy and sell U.S. dollar coin. So I find that interesting because I was looking on Coinbase and I didn't see it. Maybe I was just blind, but I did not see the stable coin on there. And then so I was like, well, let's check just good old CoinMarketCap, and it is not listed on Coinbase at all. Now, this could just be behind, but I don't see it on Coinbase, but it should be coming soon. So the announcement further details that trading for other geographies will be available in the future. Coinbase Wallet already supports the US dollar token, while Coinbase Pro, the exchange's professional trading platform, will begin supporting the token in the coming weeks. So Circle, a company backed by Goldman Sachs, oh, good old Goldman Sachs, launched its US dollar coin last month. Each token is backed by a US dollar, holding at a 1-to-1 ratio. Of course it is, meaning it is 100% collateralized, and Coinbase noted. So it added that it is an ERC20 token built on the Ethereum standard, compatible with most decentralized applications on Ethereum. Still don't see it on Coinbase, though, so very perplexed by that. So crypto miners in Iceland are turning to farms in search of cheaper electricity. So the attraction of Iceland, so there's a lot of factors. So Iceland has developed infrastructure for generating hydropower energy and geothermal energy. The country produces about 80% of its energy in hydroelectric power stations, which is impressive by global standards. In the U.S., for example, only 6% comes from renewable resources. Moreover, cold Arctic air provides natural cooling for mining and resources that need to invest in air-conditioned systems, which are vital for normal operating data centers. These conditions attract a lot of foreign companies, and as a result, many experts have expressed concerns about the environmental sustainability of the mining phenomenon, which I have as well. Bitcoin and altcoins are reshaping the economy, but there's a flip side to the positive momentum. Apart from rocketing electricity prices, it puts the power generation industry under strain, and the country may just run out of electricity if demands continue to grow at the current pace. So one of the solutions somebody came up with, who has a small mining farm, has come up with a simple yet clever idea on how to maintain profitability and reduce the environmental and financial impact of mining operations. She pays local farmers for their excess geothermal energy and converts it to electricity for her mining rigs. So basically just taking it from farmers who produce way too much geothermal electric energy, which is okay. But again, I question how long the proof of work situation is going to go on, because in 8 years ago or 6 years ago, the electricity consumption was very little, and now it's incredible. I've read stories of coal power plants opening in Australia just to power a mining farm. And it was an old coal power plant that had been shut down, but they refired it up so that they could power electricity to this mining farm. So if it takes virtually an entire coal power plant to mine a farm to power the electricity, and lots of hydroelectric, geothermal, imagine in 10 years, imagine at 5 years even, how much electricity it's going to take, and eventually it's a lot of resources going to something that is, for a good cause, it's a good currency, but, maybe there's a better solution somewhere in the riffraff. So Bitcoin Diamond price jumps on a BitThumb listing. So Bitcoin Diamond, one of the top 50 currencies by market cap, leaped nearly 5% on a daily basis on Wednesday. after it was added to BitThumb. So the South Korean exchange opened trading services, deposits, and withdrawals. The platform supports one trading pair for BCD, one trading pair. However, BitThumb's listing process has been impacting Bitcoin Diamond price for nearly a day, and the exchange published its BCD statement at around 12:30. So we can see this pump here. Let's just look at it here. BCD, and it's already going back down. Let me just spoil it for you already. So trading about, this is probably like the announcement. This is probably when it actually happened. So it was normally about $1.72, $3, $4. And then it went up a few cents. And then once it got put on, this is pretty usual when a new coin gets put on an exchange, or not necessarily a new coin, but when just a coin lists, or an exchange lists a coin that they didn't have otherwise. It always pumps for a little bit and then sells immediately. It's just a chance for people to make money while other people are unaware. And then it just goes right back to the same price. So don't worry so much about that. It's Bitcoin Diamond after all. Whoop-dee. So moving on here, I want to talk about Hashflare and Genesis mining. I've talked about these a lot, but I decided that it would be fun to look at some of these comments and just to show you why you don't invest in cloud mining. It's really ridiculous. So basically, you give them a bunch of money, and then when profits are low, they just take your money, pay their electricity with your money, and they're still mining. Some people don't even believe that they're mining, but I think they are. And so they're basically taking your money, spending your money on their electricity and Lambos, and then they get to keep the coin. So the maintenance fees are too high, and you don't actually get paid on Genesis mining and Hashflare when the prices are really low. So what happens to the coin, you might ask? Well, they just keep it. They just keep it and then just don't give you the coin. So not only did they receive your money, they're basically being paid to mine for free. It's the biggest scam. It's one of the biggest scams I've ever seen. At least the Ponzi schemes and stuff like that, in the investment schemes, the referral schemes, are at least more obvious. Apparently this one just isn't obvious to anybody. And I made my second crypto video I ever made was on Genesis mining, and like nobody watched that video. And I was basically like, this is just a big Ponzi scheme. Like, this is clearly a big Ponzi scheme. Like, why would you pay somebody to mine for you? Because then you're just not going to get the same amount. That would be like if I had an ant miner and it makes $20 a day, right? And you're like, hey, would you mine for me? And I would say, yeah, but that would mean that, like, I can't just give you $20 a day and you give me $20 a day, because, well, why would I do that? I should just keep my own coin in that case, right? Like, why even go through the effort? So that means I would be like, okay, well, you give me $20 a day plus the electricity plus a small fee, like a maintenance fee. So you're going to end up giving me $25, $30 or more a day for getting $20. Like, how does that's insanely stupid. It just doesn't make any sense. And I could go on and on and on about it, but these are real just sousy material. You just sit back with your popcorn. Good. That was water, not popcorn, but you can imagine popcorn. And the comments are just amazing. And these ones are relatively relatively mundane on Genesis mining comparatively. But I think maybe they went through these, because I was just looking at them on my phone and they were way worse. Don't spend money on the company, They're really juicy. I promise you. Oh, this was a pinned tweet from a while ago. Never mind. Let's check on this one, the XMR miners. So basically what they did is that they updated XMR and they gave everybody XMC instead. So you had to opt in to continue mining Monero, and instead, if you didn't, you would automatically start mining XMC, which is Monero Classic, which is a complete and total shitcoin. You can see when it was actually forked here, and then woo-wee, nice little roller coaster ride down there. So it's just a total shitcoin. And it's just amazing, the comments. So, mind you, I did click on the pinned tweet. This one was from a while ago. The most recent ones are real juicy stuff. But I'll tell you what's even juicier than that, Hashflare, because Hashflare is unable to be even as efficient as Genesis mining. Genesis mining you're not getting paid out on, and Hashflare is less efficient. And I just said you have to re-up your contracts to withdraw enough, because they're saying my balance is less than 0.01. How to withdraw. And see, another thing is about these mining companies is that they have a specific balance at which you can withdraw. So that's their scam. You basically have to re-up your contract to get more coin and able to withdraw. But here's the thing, like let's say you're mining for a year. You have a year contract. Some of them are longer. That's okay. Let's say it's a year, right? Halfway through that year, you decide to withdraw. Like a little bit more, let's say 8 months, you decide to withdraw your Bitcoin. Boom, you got your Bitcoin, right? Now you only got 4 months of mining, and let's say you didn't put a lot of money into it. And then your contract ends, but you didn't accumulate enough to withdraw. You're unable to withdraw that. So you basically spent 4 months of mining for nothing, and you'll have to sign up for another year. So the only way you can withdraw is wait the entire year, your entire contract, till the end, and then withdraw it. Because otherwise, if you withdraw, you know, like 3/4 the way through it, you won't have enough to withdraw, depending on how much you put in, of course. So these are just juicy. This is what they're doing. Good old Madoff wasn't on the blockchain. It's just unbelievable. The comments. So I urge you guys to head on over to Twitter and Genesis Mining and Hashflare and just read some of these comments. They are just classic stuff. So now back to CoinMarketCap here. We're at 210 billion market cap, so we've gone up a whole 2 billion, which is better than bad. And still at 53% Bitcoin dominant, so just nothing to report on CoinMarketCap. One thing I did want to show you guys is XMC. We already looked at the price, but I wanted to show you the volume, the daily volume, and where was that here? So we could see the 24-hour volume. We did a whole $81,000, a whole $642, and then like less than $100 for other exchanges. So it's basically the worst shitcoin of them all. It's really, really bad. And Genesis Mining decided that it was probably better for them. They probably had a meeting or something and said, okay, well, let's switch everybody to XMC because that'll be more profitable than be mining Monero, because Monero has a higher difficulty rating than XMC. But who knows? I mean, maybe it does. Maybe it does. They have no idea what they're doing. It's a total scam. They're basically being paid to mine and take your money and then keep the coin as well, which is just the most ridiculous scam I've ever seen. It's basically like, hey, everybody, just pay me so I can mine. And they're like, why? I don't know. Just do it because you think you'll make money. I don't know. But I hope you guys enjoyed this particular episode. Bitcoin Diamond, we were talking about that as well. A whole $1.95, woo-wee! And it, like I said, it pumped on the exchange, but it's going right back down. But I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. And as usual, I will see you guys next time.